This is a real quick message that the Lord downloaded in my spirit today while I was actually putting together another message. He kept showing me 1414, and I knew he was putting these numbers together. And it happened so many times, even just in 1 minute. Like, it wasn't the first time he showed me 14 today or recently, but all of a sudden he just kept showing me 1414 with every 1 and 4 that he could possibly put together in front of my vision. And so I knew that he was trying to speak something to me, something urgent. And so I went to the Strong's Exhaustive and I looked up 14 first. And I couldn't really figure out what he was meaning by it, because the definition wasn't really making sense. Nothing was resonating in my spirit when I looked at this. So it said a primitive root to breathe, that is figuratively to be acquiescent, consent, rest content, will, be willing. But then it goes on to say 42 times it was used as would, okay? Like somebody would do something. Or will, willing, consent. And so when I read through the different scriptures that were listed under there, I didn't read all of them, but I read quite a few. There was a common denominator in the way that it was used with the word would. And that is that it was always a situation where somebody was supposed to do something, but they wouldn't do it. They would not do this. They just wouldn't be obedient. They wouldn't do the right thing in that situation. They were being stubborn. And so that's what he was wanting me to get out of that part of it. Okay. So then I go to 1414. And 1414 says to cut down. And immediately he put the Johnny Cash song in my head. And so I'm going to go through those lyrics in a minute. But after he put that song in my head, more specifically, the part of the song that says, sooner or later, I'm going to cut him down. He said specifically to me, because of their stubbornness, I will cut them down, declares the Lord. Because they refused my instruction, they will pay with their lives. Hold on. Oh yeah, when he was revealing to me that when a tree is cut down, it's dead. Like, the chances of anything growing out of that permanently, or of somebody trying to put it back in the dirt and regrow it, is slim to none. Like, it's not very often that you can, like, replant something like that. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm sure there are times where that happens, depending on the type of tree, I suppose. But for the most part, when you cut a tree down, it's done. Okay? Its life is over. And he reminded me of these trees that I heard about, I don't know, maybe 13 years ago. I don't remember how many years ago it was, but it was like some odd thing that was happening in the earth that they had never seen before. The trees looked like they were bleeding. When they would cut into them, like, all this blood stuff would come gushing out of these trees, and it was like, what is going on? This is some weird supernatural thing that's happening that we don't know why it's happening. And it was freaking, men out who were trying to cut trees down. So he had me look up these pictures so I could use that in the video that he was wanting me to put out in this video. So when I was scrolling through the pictures, it might give you a few images that kind of look like each other. And when you scroll down to the bottom of the images, it said, looks like you've reached the end. And the Lord was like speaking that to me the moment that my eyes came upon those words. And so he was like confirming that's what he's meaning with this. Like, to cut them down, like, this is their end. This is their end. This is their judgment. There's nothing that can be done about it. And so for some people, the Lord is saying that this is it. Your time's up. You don't have any more chances. He's going to cut you down. So I'm going to go through the Johnny Cash lyrics. It says, you can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, God will cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go tell that midnight writer. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's going to cut him down. Tell him that God's going to cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in the voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He called my name, and my heart stood still when he said, John, go do my will. And then it goes on with the next lyrics, go tell the long-tongued liar, the midnight rider, etc. Tell him that God's going to cut him down. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, God will cut you down. Sooner or later, God will cut you down. Well, you may throw your rock and hide your hand, working in the dark against your fellow man. But as sure as God made black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. And then it just repeats those choruses. You can run on for a long time. Sooner or later, God's going to cut you down. And that's literally what he's saying, is the lyrics in this song. That these people thought that because nothing had happened for such a long time after receiving their warnings, that nothing was going to happen. They really thought, oh, I got away with it. Oh, that wasn't really God. He wasn't really telling me to repent of my sins. I can do whatever I want. I can be mean to people. I can hurt them. I can betray them. I can talk bad about them. He always brings the word slander to my mind. Slander. And like in this song, it's talking about backbiting. So these people thought that they could get away with running from his will, running from what God wanted to do in their lives, running from their purpose. And God gave them chance after chance after chance after chance. And he's saying that for some of these people, you're going to get cut down now. He's going to cut you down, meaning your life will be ended. So he's reminding me of the other message I put out today that basically talked about how these people will be facing their death, and they'll know that they'll be facing their death, and they know that there's nothing they can do about it. Like, they'll be trapped in a situation where all their last experiences are going to be realizing that this is what's going to happen. There's nothing they can do about it now because they already had all their chances. And it's really, really sad. But like, that's how loving our God is. He gives you chance after chance after chance after chance because he does not wish that anyone would perish. But he knows if somebody's not ever going to come around. And he knows that when a man's made up his mind, sometimes that's it. Their mind is made up. They think they can continue playing games. They think that they can continue testing God's limits, and this is it. This is the end for them. Just like at the bottom of the page when he says, "Looks like you've reached the end." Like, that really hit my soul when I read that. And so that is the message. I know it's not a very happy one, but that's what's going on in this season. God's going to be cutting people down. So do not be surprised if you see your fellow man being cut down because they would not listen to the Lord's instructions.